Welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. Things are not going good down here. I logged back on to find the creepers dying of entity cramming, that's the one. And also these arrows over here keep dropping down the front area. They do this really weird thing where they appear to go all the way across. They don't actually kill a creeper, and then they randomly appear back here. They were also giving particle effects out at one point. Really strange stuff. Then I nudged this guy, and then I was like, we should probably show what's going on here. Please don't shoot the cat. Hi, are you going to sit down? You're going to sit down. Wonderful. Now I'm going to power you, make you go forward. Good. Good. And then we're going to replace this, and hopefully that's fixed it. Doesn't look like it, does it? And obviously things have changed here, because we put in the sand in this area. But then I log on another day and things are now different. So I decided to relog so that you could see the arrow going all the way over here. And when the guy pulls his arrow out again to shoot another one, that's when all of a sudden the arrow appears back over here. And sometimes you sort of see it warp back across. We've also got particle effects coming off of the arrows when I relog. I don't know what to make of this, really. I don't know what to do here. It would appear it had something to do with the sand. Now that that's been removed, these fellas are getting shot again. I think what I'm going to do is put the sand one block lower down all the way across these 4 gaps here. That should end our problem with the arrows, hopefully. Well, it sure does. No arrows dropping anywhere at all now. And currently we're dealing with an overflow of records. But as I step back, you can see lots has been done here. I need to smelt some more glass and just fill in this space over here. But if you look at our golem friend, you can see that I've put glass blocks all around it and I had to use pistons to maneuver those into the space because it is bigger than a single block. But with that, I've been able to tidy up the entire front area here and the floor, and it kind of leaves us with just a handful of things to do here. Now, one of those is to put in some jukeboxes and records displayed on this side over here. You can see we've got 10 redstone blocks in a row, and then we've got this awkward block that's just sitting here in the way. So with that gone, we can put in the records. However, it turns out that there are 12. At some point or another, they added an extra one, and I always had 11 stuck in my mind. So this one is just not going to be on display, because if I rearrange the size of the room now, lots of stuff gets kind of funky. But anyway, this is exactly where it's going to go, and what I want to do is have jukebox at this level, then some sort of blocks where these ones are here, and then above them I want to find a corresponding terracotta block, a glazed terracotta block to go with each of the records. So they'll have some nice interesting patterns that will hopefully match the colours of the records. And then around here you can see this corner is finished. This is super simple. Basically, the records that come through after the gunpowder is filtered out go into this dropper elevator, which takes it up to the top, and we've got a storage system here. Now the thing is, once the storage is full up, the records are just going to sit around and despawn. And they come up here, the water starts, it goes across all the hoppers, and then there's a gap at the end here. And I was thinking, you know, what should we do to get it to go just over the edge into some lava? Should we put ice there? Here's the thing, you can probably just about see this texture from somewhere on the opposite side, right? So if we go with sand, it'll be the same color. We can put that on top of it. And do I have a slab? No, this will do. Bam, to stop it from growing. So you're probably not even going to notice it from down there if it were a different block, but it's a yellow block, and it goes right next to where the water is, so that'll destroy the records. You gotta love it when an idea turns good. Wow, that looks superb. I spent a lot of time going over this. I really wanted to make the colours match using just these patterned ones, and you can see I've had to stretch it in a couple of places, like using the cyan for the darker green one. But it's ended up looking really good, and the arrangement of the blocks gives a kind of rainbow effect as well. I love it. Yeah, as well as that, this thing's been changed to darker colour, like black glass. The ceiling's been put in, and the floor has as well. The one catch with the floor, though, is that there has to be a solid block, so we can't have a trapdoor. But it's kind of hidden by the glass, so it turned out looking pretty good. I can't say the same of our next planned feature. I've gone up here and I've put glass around where the creepers go up and fall down. There's a creeper going up right now. It's just not bright enough up here. Maybe what I'll do is chuck in some glowstone further back, right, I'll try that. But the thing is, from down here, you barely see anything anyway. So it turned out to be a little bit disappointing, but that's alright. What we're going to work on next is the staircase behind me. So we say goodbye to this project now. Everything that I had planned for this room is done, and the staircase behind me. Now as we walk up here we can see where we're going. I actually want this to be in darkness, so let's get rid of these torches and let's walk up here because it's very dark, and when we get to the top here there's going to be like a wall in the way, and then there's some ladders. Now the reason that I've done that is because I want it to be dead dark here, and I don't want you to be able to catch a glimpse of what's down the bottom. So although where we're standing is dark, you would be able to see that right there from any distance, right? So that's why we put in the wall, and the best way to check this out is by probably just flying around and seeing if we can actually see it. I can't really see it. It's kind of there when you get closer, but it's not like the light we have on that side there. That makes it stand out. That doesn't stand out at all. So it's kind of like a little secret entrance to take you to a very secret area. With that project done, we can head into the wall room. And remember, peeps, no shearing in the wall room. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. This button over here opens our little secret exit. Very cool. I wonder if I can leave it open by pulling a lever on it. I think the redstone circuit would work with that. Anyway, if we pop out the side here, we need to finish this tiny bit over here off, and we've got a path kind of heading straight into a wall, and it's not too sure about where it should go. Well, I've been thinking about it. I reckon what we should do is pull the mountain over the top of all of this dirt, down there into the ocean, which would create a kind of natural divide with the swamp biome onto the next one, and then this path can go into the mountain. Now when it's in there, what we'll probably have it do is go inside our base and back out again, so it's going to make a right hand turn, and I was looking at where that right hand turn would go, and it kind of doesn't have a lot of space to go into, but there's something that we can do here. Have you noticed how the game has gotten a little bit shaky all of a sudden, down to like 15 frames a second? It just started doing that a moment ago while I was investigating the base. I'm not sure what's causing that. It's typical Minecraft though, especially when you've got a big built up base full of redstone and hoppers. And speaking of those things, this is where it would turn in around here, and if we have a look at this big lump of stone, there's actually a fair bit of space for a path to kind of traverse through this area. And it could look at all of the redstone. I think it would be cool to show this off. We could have an interior area with a glass wall, and you could look out and you could see all these crazy contraptions. We've got glass and water streams with hoppers and furnaces, which droppers are now the better thing to put on top of furnaces. And yeah, loads of redstone. I think it would be really cool to be able to visit and see all of this stuff. So that's what we're going to do with this new path. So tools were in need of repair, just come over here taking care of that, stocked up my chest full of ender pearls, and I want to continue the tradition here of filling up the walls with enderman heads. With my session I got one of them, and you can see all of them here have been filled, so let's copy that side and let's just put one there. Heading back from the end, what do I happen to find in my nether tunnel? Would it be a llama? I guess it's a nether tunnel, but with llamas. And I say llamas because there's more of them. This fella here is Glamour Darling. Well, I got a lead for you, my friend. We need to find these a place in the base. And oh, this project right here is the worst thing I've done this season. It's awful. I never use it. Oh, but you're giving it some use right now, that's for sure. Oh, geez, I think we're near the bottom now. Very good. As I said, there's another one down here. This one, oh, there's two. They're running around. Oh, are they forming? They're doing a thing, aren't they? They're trying to do a thing. Hang on, hang on. Yes, yes. Llamas. Very good, very good. So you are Sass, and this one is Real MF. Oh. One thing I need to do quickly. Oh, I should have put that lead on my offhand. No, I still actually have it. I thought it would have broken off. Anyway, let's break. No, I'm clicking at the wrong bit. Let's get them into the hub, safe and sound. And I was wondering, like, where should we put these llamas in the base? I've got no idea whatsoever, but they are in this area now. So if you've got any ideas, leave a suggestion in the comments, and we could do that in a future episode of Hermitcraft, or find a proper place for them to go. But off the top of my head, I just don't have any ideas. So I put in the finishing touches around the entrance here, and I'd say it's alright until it becomes flat and bland, and we need to figure out what kind of build we're going for on the inside. As for the shape of this thing right here, it does look a little bit sort of blobbish coming out of the side there, but it kind of works, you know. I think we'll get away with that one. It doesn't particularly look too bad. So with this transition finished, although maybe not finished, I reckon we should probably tear out a little bit more of the dirt here, right? Just all of that stuff back there, and then when more of this is shaped around this side, that should end up making a fair bit of sense. But for some reason, this hasn't worked. I think water is flowing down into the area below again, which I need to make sure is, of course, all lit up. So there we go, that's looking a lot better. Over on this side though, it just kind of cuts off temporarily because I don't know what it is we're going to be doing over here yet. So our path transitions to a different material rather abruptly and kind of in tune with the cave here, which I'm not really sure what we're going to do for the walls or anything, but the path is going to come into this area like so, and we're going to have a little bit of a gap between the path and the redstone-y stuff. But notice how there isn't this glowstone on the sides here. We've got these torches in temporarily to help the grass grow, but then when it comes to lighting, we're going to put something rather faint at the back because I think it'd be nice to keep this area kind of dark and mysterious. But anyway, the path goes over here, and the problem that I'm encountering is that instead of going straight out that side, we're going to have to go around these beacon beams, right? So we'll probably have our path come over here. I'm just wondering if we should go right up against this side and keep the 2-block distance. So we go all the way over here, and then we turn, and then we go down that way again. Or perhaps I'll move through this space diagonally. I'm really not sure, but it's probably not going to be a tough decision or anything, is it? Well, this worked out pretty well. As you can see, there is a path going off to the right there, and it just so happens that this is kind of like the lowest point in a hilly area, so great place for the path to come through. And then over here, I've been wondering where this could go and what it could do, and it just feels like a dead end. So actually, we're going to turn to the right, and then we're going to go down and under and connect with the second floor over here, which will give us another way to navigate through the base to get to areas outside of the base. So that makes a lot of sense, but it's going to be tricky building because we've got this item filter directly above it, and we're going to have glass walls on this side sort of facing the redstone, and on the opposite side we're going to have, you know, flat walls that you can't see through. That'll be more so of this area over here. But what I've been thinking is, why don't we get wild? Why don't we get a little bit creative? I have had some fun using those glazed terracotta blocks today, and I think that I would like to try and use them again and go for something really colourful and a little bit wild for this project. Sass is now just... Don't go near that fire, please. Sass is now just in the base. I think they found a home. And, no, Sass, you're not blending in very well. Do you know what? Cubfan was online a little while ago. Maybe he pushed them through into this area. Or maybe it just wandered through itself. Well, here's the thing. Since I last came through the portal, which was recorded in this episode, I haven't gone back through it again. So I'm pretty sure Cubfan is up to some sneaky llama shenanigans, right? Basically, he's doing shenanigans, but with llamas. So after messing around for a while with these terracotta blocks, I think what I'd actually like to do is bring out the circular patterns that appear to be in quite a lot of them and just slot them in like that. Now, the andesite is kind of boring and straightforward, right? So I'd like to spice this up a little bit. I'd also like to find a way to get a light source in here, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. If actually on that end, maybe it stays the same, but perhaps we have those in between instead. And then behind them, I was hoping to find a block that could let light through, but be solid as well, but I couldn't really figure out what to do. But we should have something back here. For now, andesite would obviously work, but we need a light source in here, and I only want it to let through a tiny amount of light. I'm really not sure what to do. I did bring some end rods with me, by the way. So instead of using the cobblestone walls, we could go around and put in some end rods from top to bottom. But they would probably emit too much. However, that looks very, very nice, I must say. Looks like the recessing of the andesite blocks means it actually works on this corner. As you can see, we're dealing with different length paths and stuff. So that's really nice. And actually, I think the light level is right because it's got quite a few blocks to go before it reaches over into this area, which is what I wanted to illuminate a little bit. So with that distance, it doesn't illuminate it that much. And now I'm just thinking there is a lot of andesite going on here. Everything else is lovely. But maybe we just want to chuck in another block at the back there instead. I'm really not sure. Oh, and by the way, the pathway here as well. This is how it now goes. You can see I've sort of done my thing with the rocks leading into this area. And that is what I've done on this side over here as well, and had to move this all in by one block. As you can see, I'm still in the process of tidying this up, but it's all been shuffled over, and it means that this goes across like so, and then it goes all the way down to the end, and it perfectly fits. It's just wonderful. Now, I've also been able to get every different pattern into here, and I've focused on ones that get this real kind of circular effect, and on some of them it's not entirely possible. Especially that one. And then some of these other ones are a little bit unexpected like that. I mean, I messed around with these blocks a lot. I guess you kind of forget some of the patterns, but you can arrange them in so many ways. And that one right there, it was really difficult to get something that was circular and larger. And then this one, obviously, kind of tricky. There's not really any circular shape there. So that was the best I could come up with. And these are the rest of them. Now, you'll notice that there are some spaces, in fact, too. And I kind of wish there were free spaces, because I've had a look at some other blocks that we can use to create these kind of effects. So we've got a gap there and a gap on this side here, and that's where we're going to put two non-terracotta patterns. So I've already made up my mind, but let's go have a look at the three of these patterns, and they are all pretty much more like swastikas than they are circular, because these are flat and they go in a different direction each. The two that I like are these ones here and that one there. I mean, these ones here, to use the proper English. This one not so much, but then again we should probably consider diversity of colours or detail. This is actually probably more in tune with these ones, which tend to have contrasting colours mixed together, right? And that one's probably the blandest of all of them. So I actually, here I am, I've already made up my mind. No, I'm changing my mind. We're going to include this one and that one there. It has to be said that that one kind of blends in a little bit better. Thing is, it's right next to another cyan one, so maybe I'll move that with a different one. This one over here doesn't blend in as much. And also, because there isn't blocks above and below, which I can put in, you see, we can't open these two. But we can open these, and I feel like we should put some sort of secret message in it, you know, something for people who get the world download later on in the season. That might be a cool idea. So anyway, I think I'm going to swap that one with, let's swap it with this yellow one here. I don't think this is the way to go, actually. Next step was to put a roof on. The design itself is just sort of, something that works, you know. But it cuts off the view looking up into this space, and I actually think that's really important. There's loads of stuff to see up there, right? So I actually think we're going to tear this thing out and leave it open. Now the big problem then is that we have these walls of dirt coming down the side, and that makes it look odd when you focus on that specifically. So I think if we tidy up those walls, the rest of it will make sense, and I really like having it open like this. And that in itself is a job I'm going to do another day, yeah. I'm probably going to do that in a live stream. We'll come around here and tidy up some of this project some more. But right now what I want to focus on is the last bit of the path going down to the bottom floor. You can see I've put this like 2-block slope on the side to see where it ends up, and it really doesn't cut the mark. It's not going to come all the way down to the bottom here. So I think what we'll do instead is have some stair blocks. What I was going to do is alternate paths and oakwood slabs, but we'll just have some straight up stair blocks going down at a diagonal down to that level down there. So it'll probably walk out a little bit into this space, and we'll put like a viewing hub, so there'll be glass going all the way around the side, and then it will just drop down below. It's a dark old tunnel, but it gets a little bit lighter at this spot, and that's because we've got these bars on either sides. And finally you have grown. That's wonderful. Up the top here, I've got to say, the view isn't too great. It feels a little bit cagey, so I might come back and revise some of this stuff. And I've also made a little list of things to do in a live stream, like tidy up the walls over the back there, and down in this area you could probably tidy up some of the sides here where these blocks are exposed and where I've been digging to build this path. There's loads of little odds and sods that could just get done in this area, so at least make it a little bit cleaner. Like we've got a janky stone brick thing up here from where I was fixing this sorting machine, and that was probably like over a year ago that I was doing that. So my friends, I'm not sure where it is we're going now, but Sass wants to take me somewhere. Where are we going, Sass? You said we had somewhere important to go. We're just... Oh, no, are we going over there? No, we're going over here. Well, either way, wherever we go, I want to say thank you for watching this episode. If you have enjoyed it, then leave a like. As always, thanks for the support. And I'll see you in the next episode of Hermitcraft. So ciao for now. Bye-bye.